Um, per Indiana Code 2026 5-4.3, the governing board shall meet to discuss and hear public objections to and support for the opposed contract. At this time, I will open the meeting for any public comments. As there are none, we have adjournment. Or is there inclusion 1A that I need to see?
Is the internet on? Is yours working?
What? Are you on?
Mm-hmm.
Are you on? Are you on?
Yeah, I'm on.
Are you on?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
Mine says no internet.
That's the thing.
I'm connected to CO wireless.
I don't have that. Are you serious? Well, of course. It's not 85.
I think that's what I connected to last time. I've got the password right here if you want.
Call it two. Oh, wait.
It was from Keith, I think, last time.
Ready?
Yes, let's go.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Franklin County Community School Corporation Board of Trustees meeting for the month of August. If everyone would please rise and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance and then observe a moment of silence afterwards, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, first up on the agenda is the consent agenda items. Is there anything excluded there? Do I need to go on individuals?
Nope, you're good.
Is there any discussion? I need a motion for action, please. I'm sorry, did you raise your hand, Jessica? Was that yes? I can't see that far. Katie? All in favor, raise your hand.
Who was the second on that?
Me.
Okay.
Okay. Next up, financial reports.
The education fund balance as of July 31st, 2023 was $4,314,678.65. A year ago, this balance was $3,118,148.04. The operations fund balance as of July 31st, 2023 was $2,020,383.65. A year ago, this balance was $1,467,794.66. The investment interest earned year to date as of July 31st, 2023 was $188,903.66, and this is compared to $14,609.15 a year ago.
This is a discussion only item. Is there any discussion? One point I'd like to make is that we have a tremendous amount of interest income that is earned, and this is a lot due to our business manager, Kendra Franks, and an investment that she found that is yielding 5.29%, if I remember correctly. And we're talking about a matter of basically $174,000 more than was earned last year. So I think she deserves some accolades for that. Any other discussion? Okay, we'll move on to the next item, the cafeteria report.
The cafeteria fund balance as of July 31st, 2023 was $640,439.05. This is compared to $528,636.66 a year ago. The latchkey fund balance as of July 31st, 2023 was $12,071.75. This is compared to $4,657.90 a year ago.
Any questions? We're moving on to recommendation to advertise the 2024 budget.
I am requesting the approval to advertise and publish the following: the capital projects plan notice to taxpayers and bus replacement plan notice to taxpayers. Also, the Form 3 notice to taxpayers in Gateway regarding the budget and public hearing and date of adoption, along with the bus replacement plan, capital acquisition plan, and project capital and nature plan on our school's website. In the next few weeks, our financial advisor and myself will be working on our budget for the 2024 year. And this is purely just permission to advertise at the end of August to meet the deadlines per the state.
Is there any discussion in regards to this matter? Motion? Jessica?
Second.
Second, Kevin. All in favor? Got a 5-0. Celebrations, there are none. Okay, next up would be items, which are statements from the public. In order to address the board, individuals must sign in prior to the start of the meeting. Individuals that have signed up are given 3 minutes to speak. A maximum of 5 individuals may address the board regarding the same topic, issue, or concern. Individuals are asked to avoid repetition and shall not be permitted to use the names of individual employees or students.
So our first individual is Sam Sanford.
Mr. Sanford.
A few things for your reading pleasure.
Hope you made it large print.
Thank you. Thank you.
I can't see it.
Thank you.
Will Mr. Gill and Mrs. Wilson be here?
You can leave them here, we'll get them, I'll get them too. They will not, though. They will not be here.
Tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just want to ask you one simple question. I took the liberty of highlighting on the third page, lightly highlighting down at the bottom. And that paragraph talks about other jurisdictions filing suits against schools for their participation in the transgender issue.
I
Mr. Sanford,
can't-
could you
yeah,
please
can't
talk
hardly
up just a
hear you.
little bit?
The mic is not for the audience, it's for the people listening online.
Oh, I see, okay. The third page of what you're looking at there, I've highlighted a paragraph. And that talks about lawsuits being brought against schools for their participation with the transgender. The students, the children, if you will, whatever you want to call them, have their surgery or drug treatment or whatever the thing is called for, the treatment. And then after they transition, later on, maybe they're an adult or older teenager, they have second thoughts. They said, oh my goodness, I wish I hadn't done that. That's my paraphrase. You can read it. You can read the paragraph there. And so they file suit against the schools for their participation. Also, it didn't say it there, but I've also read that they sued doctors for their participation. So with that having said, I just wonder, have you all thought about that?
We do not participate in the decision. Once a person makes the transgender decision, they are referred to other sources. We do not participate in that.
I hear you talking. Just, the question still stands. Have you considered that? You don't
Considered
have to
being
answer me.
sued for something we don't participate in? Is that your question?
No, it's not a question. My question was, have y'all considered that, the possibility of a lawsuit? You don't need to
Yeah.
answer me, I'm just asking for your,
Yes, we have considered it, and that's why we do not participate in that action. We do not try to handle that situation. It's on other people.
okay. I hear what you're saying. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is it Doris? Yes, Doris Tincher.
I want to talk about the same thing. I feel like it's not right to be able to promote one thing like that when others disagree with it too. When we know what the Bible says, are we going to have equal right to be able to put our views on the Facebook page as they did theirs? And I think that whoever we have to talk to, they need to deal with this because they're going against our beliefs, and we ought to have a right to speak what we believe too, and express our concerns with this. I'm very concerned about how our school's going and what's being taught and everything. It is not right, and it's not biblical.
Okay,
And
well-
it's time that something's done about it.
Okay, we cannot run the school according to the Bible. I'm a Christian and I believe very much as you do. But the fact remains there are students who are not Christians and we cannot do that to those students. Secondly, when you say that post was made by an individual that was an employee here, and we're dealing with the social media policy tonight. But what she chooses to do with her page is really up to her, as you could make a page and post that as well on Facebook.
We can?
Yeah.
We can post it on their Facebook?
Well, the administrator
I
controls that.
think we ought to have the same right on that Facebook
Okay, that's a
as they
Facebook
do.
issue. That is not a school board issue.
As taxpayers, we have a right.
You have a right, and you can make your
Okay,
own
we're making
post.
it known today.
Okay,
or
but we
tonight.
don't control that.
Well, who does?
Facebook.
No.
Okay.
Facebook wouldn't control that post because they would allow any type of post of that nature being made.
Then we should,
Right.
so we can say our view on their
Not her,
Facebook.
that's her page. She's probably not gonna allow you to do that. You can have your own page and make the comments that you wanted like she does. So,
How does she have the right to use a school Facebook page
It's not a school.
when we don't?
Actually, there are a lot of parents that do have Franklin County High School and Franklin County students and football posts. There are many pages out there that are individual pages.
I
You
know
can
we
start your
have
own
our
page.
But
We're not stopping you from starting your own
I'm
page.
talking
to test
about
it.
the school. The school's doing this.
The-
The counselors promoted it. The school counselors did this.
What did they
on
promote
the
in that
school-
post?
On the school Facebook.
The question is, what did they promote in that post, do you believe?
They're promoting the transgender thing on this Facebook, on this page.
They're promoting transgender. It wasn't about mental health to you?
No,
What do you think affirmation is?
please.
What do you think affirmation is?
It doesn't say that on here. It says school counselors promote equal equality.
And then what else does it do?
So if they promote that, we should be able to promote ours.
You can promote yours in any way you want with
Okay,
the
who do
falls
we
within
see
the school.
about getting on their Facebook?
Okay, Facebook.
No,
Facebook runs that. She has her own page, and it's Facebook. We don't control that. Facebook.
isn't it a school Facebook page?
No.
I'll have
If you
to
look at the
into that.
administrator, it will tell you who it is. It's not the school.
Well, I thought school had a Facebook page.
No, and there's a lot of misconception about that. And that's what we're trying to clear up with a social media policy.
Well, I know we should have equal rights, that's for sure. This should not go on like it is.
Anyone else? Okay, next item would be statements from employees. Do we have any?
Do you have any?
I don't know, I can't see it, that's pretty good. Okay, at this point, anyone who would like to leave the meeting can do so. I'm sorry, I should have allowed that earlier. Next item is the superintendent's report. Tammy?
Last board meeting, there was a few policies presented in the 700s. There's one at the final in the 200s on audio and digital recording. So I'm asking for approval. If there aren't any questions on those for tonight.
Any questions? I need a motion. Jessica and Beth, all in favor, raise your right hand. We have a 5-0.
So in
It
the
was-
board packet,
Oh,
I have a
sorry,
question.
you got that.
So is that the superintendent's report, or do we move on?
yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
That's old business in the
Yeah, there
superintendent.
was none,
Next is
yeah.
new business.
I kind of jumped the gun there a little bit. So item 10 is new business. I only put on there one policy. I'm working through right now all the technical corrections and the legislative changes. There are quite a few of them. I should have all those ready to go at the next board meeting. These are policies that we've already passed that just have some revisions to them. So 7544 is the social media policy that I emailed all of you. I guess we're open for discussion.
Any comments about the social media?
So this is from Neola, correct?
Correct,
Have
yes.
we,
Neola, which is,
have we looked at any other schools' policies? Or
There are a few. Some of them were written by themselves. Some do use ISBA. A lot of people do use Neola. And the schools that I looked at, some of them don't have this particular policy, social media policy. So I did find one from, I think it's Crown Point, that I somewhat liked. And what was the other? Tippecanoe School Corporation. A lot of it is the same. There is one sentence that
same as each other, or same as Neola?
Neola, yes, is consider using a statement if we're allowing individuals to use Franklin County High School or Franklin County Athletics or Wildcat Basketball or anything that is using our logo or something, a statement that the views expressed are my own and not those of the corporation or the Board of Schools Trustees, make it very well known. And that's across the board on anything.
but how would we apply that to parents who make a post? We couldn't do that. It's just
No, I'm talking
employees.
about if there was a Facebook page by a school employee,
Employee.
yes. Yes, I couldn't enforce it on anybody else,
If an employee created a page, they would be required to put that
possibly.
disclosure.
Putting that disclosure out there.
What about the situation where we have, say one of the administrators said office of the principal and nothing else? Would that have to have that?
I think if you're talking a school employee, I think you still need to put that.
So if they
it's-
use their school position as well as the logo.
Yes.
And we discussed this where the disclaimer would apply. And that's where I'm uncomfortable with this. You want to explain that? Is how people would see the disclaimer? Where we put it on the page?
Oh, have to be under the info or the about information, about the only place that you could
Somewhere that
probably
it
put
shows right at the very top.
It has to be up at the top, that people can see that when they are clicking on that. So,
When we print a roster or something like that, we have that disclosure on the bottom that we don't discriminate or blah, 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 blah.
Right.
That would be the same thing.
with hiring and those
Yes,
types of
yes.
things, yes. I mean, that's just one idea that, we could do. as
It's
part of
very
this
hard to
policy.
put a broad brush
Mhm.
on what happens because it affects so many pages.
Yes.
Are there any other ideas out there? Not all
I
at
hate,
once.
I hate to say this, but I would really like she doesn't have any more to do, but kind of look around and construct or put one together and bring it to the next meeting, or,
Yeah, that's what this,
That's
that
what
was
this policy is.
in your email.
okay.
She
what that
reviewed it
was.
and
But-
found it acceptable.
That statement is not part of that, so, but
Okay.
everything else, yes, there is a policy there.
I mean, I think the entire board feels it's important to have that disclaimer because people are entitled to their individual point of views, but like the young lady, thank you, I'm blind, the young lady who spoke earlier, if she wants to respond to that and can't on that page, it becomes the individual's responsibility to accept or deny that. And that goes with any individual. Whereas a parent is more than welcome to start their page, but they also have to apply the Facebook rules as well. So I don't see anything wrong with the policy the way it is. We just have to maybe refine it as it goes on. I think Kevin said it's better to have a broad brush and narrow it down than it is to have a very specific policy that would affect, everyone in the world here, so. Any other comments?
I know one issue that was mentioned previously was just how many pages. When you think about, sports teams and each school, is there a way to police this? Or a policy process may be in place?
I think the policy needs to be for employees that have pages, I mean, how to word it, to say they have a page that is deemed official school
Approved.
in their official capacity as an employee. You can't stop a parent from putting FCHS or anything on their page that they create. I'm not trying to call anybody out, but I know there's one that's like parents of Franklin County school.
Right.
They're,
Yes.
you can't police that.
That was my thought too, is, I don't know how you can, to truly disassociate those pages from our school.
Well, a lot of sports teams make immediate posts after the game to inform people of what went on.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a very difficult thing to police.
But something like that would fall under the policy, correct? An athletics page?
Because they're technically a school
Employee.
employee, yes.
So the disclaimer would be applied.
It's just making sure that they're aware that they have to do that.
Yeah.
So,
We're not taking forward action, this is just discussion now.
correct, this is just
This is
discussion,
just discussion only.
correct.
They'll come back next meeting as
I
more
think,
solidified.
it talks about, I think, social media and the types of posts that I think are extremely important from a board perspective when you're looking at something that would be vulgar or lewd or hate speech or promotes illegal drug use, anything that would be against the law, those types of things. Obviously, we want that language in our policy. We don't want them to post anything that would be harmful to students in that manner. So that is in this policy. And in my mind, that's grounds for a potential dismissal if that would happen. So,
which might well be appropriate too.
Correct.
Any other input? I would like for all the board members to contact Tammy with anything that they find different than what we have in the Neola policy to where it can be discussed before we pass it.
So I will add that sentence in there as well.
May I ask the question?
Well, this isn't really discussion, but go ahead.
Was there a pride flag flown during Pride Month at the school?
No, there are no pride flags.
Okay.
Next one up for discussion is the transportation report.
So we have Misty and Greg Burris, who are bus contractors. They're requesting permission to update their 2014 bus currently on Route 49 to a 2020 Bluebird bus for the remainder of the contract.
Any discussion? Do I have a motion? First and second, one or the other, I don't know. All in favor, vote. 5. Okay. Next up is the recommendation for the ECA personnel.
Miss Michelle South, Franklin County High School Principal, and Mr. Dustin Riley, Athletic Director, are recommending Mr. Kyle Van Meter as the girls' varsity basketball coach for this school year.
Discussion.
I'll kind of say what we've discussed as a board. This program and job performance has been discussed thoroughly amongst the board and administration with Mr. Riley, our new athletic director. He understands our concerns and recognizes the need for improvement in the program as a whole going forward.
I would like to add to that a little bit. We consider this as a board very seriously on the behavior of not just this coach, but all the coaches. That we need to shore up and be more responsible as a role model for these student athletes. And I think this is kind of a demonstration that Mr. Van Meter needs to abide by what Mr. Riley is providing for him. And I have confidence that Mr. Riley will provide him the direction that he needs to go. Any other comments? Is there a motion? Is there a motion? Jessica makes the motion. Is there a second?
I move that we
Second.
keep Mr. Van Meter as varsity girls
Okay.
basketball coach.
All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? None. 5-0. Okay, next up would be the construction update.
Yes, getting a little nervous as it gets closer, and we don't see any green on the field yet. But just a quick update, communication boxes. It was a good thing we did have a lot of rain here over the past couple of weeks because we found out that the subcontractors did not connect the communication boxes to the perimeter drain, which that has been remedied. They have fixed that, but yes. Depending on weather, we did have a couple of concrete issues. The guys that were paving backed over some concrete and broke it. So this week they'll be fixing that. There's some cracks in the long jump board area that I've taken pictures that they'll be fixing as well. And all that happens in all construction projects. Flagpole goalposts will be installed this week. So it'll start looking like a football field again. Turf will be delivered this week. So we'll be seeing that come in. Lad Painting has been hired to paint the press box, and they should be doing that this week. They just power washed it, so that'll make that look better. I had new sliding press box windows installed. If you've ever been up there, you see about a 1/2 or 3/4 inch gap because they wouldn't close. and we had some window sills rotting out because of that, so we're getting all that fixed. We got new press box graphics that have been ordered and are waiting for painting completion. We got a big Wildcat to go on the front, and then on the back side, it'll say Home of the Wildcats. So that's gonna really look nice. We do have some contingency money, probably gonna be left over, so I'm seeking quotes now to put in a new discus and shot put area and try to upgrade so everything is done out there and looks good. And projected completion date is September 1st, which happens to be our first home football game. So,
Cross your fingers.
yes.
Really, Mr. Isaacs, the shot and the discus area, we're in safety. We're okay with the way it is, but we can make that area a lot more safe.
Safe and I want to put up some curbing to keep the sand in
Yes.
and just make it look better. Since everything else is going to be top notch, so that area will be done.
This was for information. Anyone need any other information from Mr. Isaacs? There is not. The next item up would be legislative updates.
I don't
Do you have
know.
any? Was that yes or no?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Going blind and hard of hearing. What a great combination for my wife. Future agenda requests. Do we have any? There are none. Recognition and acknowledgement? No recognition. And we're under adjournment. The next regular school board meeting will be 7 p.m. Monday, September 11th, 2023, right here, same location, Franklin County Administration Building. Thank you, everyone, for being here.